How often do you buy things online?
I buy things online quite regularly, probably a few times a month. It's convenient, and I can compare prices, read reviews, and get the item delivered right to my door. Especially for books, gadgets, and clothes, online shopping saves me a lot of time and hassle.
What was the last thing you bought online?
The last thing I bought online was a Bluetooth speaker. I wanted something compact but with good sound quality. And after checking a few reviews and comparing models, I ordered it through an e-commerce site. It arrived in 2 days, and I've been pretty happy with it so far.
Do you ever see things in shops and then buy them online?
Yes, I do that quite often. Sometimes I see a product in a physical store but don't want to carry it home, or I find it cheaper online. So I take a photo or note the model and then buy it from a trusted online platform. It's just more practical sometimes.
Do you think the popularity of online shopping is changing your town or city center?
Yes, I think it's definitely having an impact. Some small shops have closed down because more people prefer ordering online. Malls are trying to adapt by offering more dining and entertainment options to attract visitors, but traditional retail has definitely taken a hit due to the rise of e-commerce.
When do families celebrate together in your country?
In my country, families usually celebrate together during religious festivals, weddings, birthdays, and national holidays. For example, Eid or Durga Puja is a time when extended families gather for meals, prayers, and sharing gifts. These occasions are deeply rooted in tradition and help strengthen family bonds. They also offer a break from daily routines and bring everyone under one roof, which doesn't happen often.
How often do all the generations in a family come together in your country?
It's becoming less frequent these days, especially in cities where people live far apart due to work or education. But during major festivals or weddings, it's still common to see 3 or even 4 generations under one roof. These gatherings are meaningful because the younger ones get to interact with grandparents and learn family values and stories. In rural areas, such reunions might happen more often than in urban areas.
Why is it that some people might not enjoy attending family occasions?
Some people might feel uncomfortable due to family conflicts, generation gaps, or too many personal questions. Others may simply find big family events overwhelming or prefer quiet time. In some cases, there may be pressure to behave a certain way or meet expectations, which can be stressful. So while these occasions are joyful for most, they're not always enjoyable for everyone.
Do you think it is a good thing for parents to help their children with schoolwork?
Yes, I think so. When parents help their children with schoolwork, it shows the child that education matters. It also gives the parents insight into what their children are learning. However, the help should be supportive, not overbearing. If parents do all the work, it takes away the learning process. Encouragement and guidance are the key, rather than spoon-feeding answers.
How important do you think it is for families to eat together at least once a day?
I think it's very important. Eating together allows family members to connect, share their day, and strengthen relationships. It also promotes healthier eating habits and better communication. Even if everyone is busy, having dinner together can be a valuable part of maintaining closeness. In many families, that's the only time during the day when everyone is in the same place.
Do you believe that everyone in a family should share household tasks?
Yes, I do. Sharing chores teaches responsibility and teamwork. It also prevents one person, usually a parent or caregiver, from becoming overwhelmed. When children are involved in basic tasks like setting the table or cleaning their rooms, it builds good habits. In my opinion, a fair distribution of household responsibilities makes the home run more smoothly and reduces tension.
How many hours do you usually sleep at night?
I try to get around 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night. That seems to be the ideal amount for me. If I sleep less than that, I usually feel groggy and find it hard to focus the next day.
Do you sometimes sleep during the day?
Occasionally, yes, especially if I've had a rough night or feel mentally drained. A short nap in the afternoon, like 20 to 30 minutes, really helps me recharge. But if I sleep too long, I find it hard to fall asleep at night.
What do you do if you can't get to sleep at night?
If I'm struggling to fall asleep, I usually read something light or listen to calming music. Scrolling on my phone tends to make it worse, so I avoid that. I think it's mainly stress or overthinking that keeps me awake sometimes.
Do you ever remember the dreams you've had while you were asleep?
Yes, but only now and then. Some dreams stick with me clearly, especially if they are strange or emotional, but most of the time they fade quickly after I wake up, which is pretty common, I think.
How important is it for children to have lots of friends at school?
In my opinion, the quality of friendships matters far more than the number of friends a child has. Even just one or two close, trustworthy friends can make a huge difference in a child's happiness, confidence, and social development. Genuine friendships provide emotional security and a sense of belonging, which are crucial during the school years. For instance, I had a cousin who was never part of a large social group at school, but she had two very close friends who always supported her. They worked on school projects together, stood by each other during difficult times, and shared common interests. She felt completely secure and socially fulfilled despite not having a big circle of friends.
Do you think it is wrong for parents to influence which friends their children have?
That's a tricky question, in my opinion. In some cases, I think it's justified. For instance, if a parent believes a particular friend is a bad influence. But generally speaking, children should be allowed to choose their own friends. It helps them develop independence and learn to judge people for themselves. If parents interfere too much, it might backfire and damage the trust between them and their child.
Why do you think children often choose different friends as they get older?
I believe that's a natural part of growing up. As children mature, their interests, personalities, and values change. They start seeking friends who match their new way of thinking or lifestyle. For example, someone who was once really into video games might become more interested in sports or academics, and they'll naturally bond with people who share those interests. It's part of personal development.
If a person is moving to a new town, what is a good way for them to make new friends?
Joining local clubs, gyms, or interest-based groups is a great way to meet people, in my opinion. Attending community events, volunteering, or even participating in a local class or course can open the door to new friendships. These settings provide natural opportunities for conversation and connection. From my perspective, being approachable and open-minded also helps a lot when trying to make new friends in a new place.
Can you think of any disadvantages of making new friends online?
Yes, while online platforms are convenient, there are definitely some risks involved. It can be hard to know if someone is being truthful about who they are. There's also the risk of scams, especially when people overshare personal information. Another issue is that online friendships may lack the depth and trust that come from face-to-face interactions. That said, many genuine friendships do form online. They just require more caution.
Would you say it is harder for people to make new friends as they get older?
Yes, I believe that is true. As people get older, their lives get busier with work, family, and other responsibilities. They have less free time and fewer social opportunities. Also, adults can be more cautious or reserved when meeting new people, unlike children who form friendships quite quickly. However, it's still possible. It just takes more effort and intentionality.
How important is it for students to have enough leisure time?
Leisure time is absolutely vital, in my opinion. It helps students recharge, stay mentally healthy, and avoid burnout. Activities like sports, music, or just spending time with friends provide a much-needed break from academic pressure. Without this balance, students can become overwhelmed and even lose interest in their studies. In the long run, having time to relax actually improves productivity and focus.